Hello, I'm Heather.
And I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the podcast. It's game night, it's sibling rivalry, it's a walk down memory lane, but most importantly, it's politics free.
Guaranteed.
Welcome to round 7 of Pando. Here's how it works. We have a set of cards. On each one is written 3 personal questions. For example, one card asks, am I an early bird or a night owl? Do I like roller coasters? And do I often feel out of place at social gatherings?
Oh, yeah.
First, I'll ask Ryan 3 questions pertaining to me, and he'll have to answer each one correctly, earning 1 point per correct answer and a bonus point for getting all 3 correct. Then we'll switch it around, and it'll be my turn. Whoever scores the most points wins the ever-coveted Gloating Rights Trophy.
Until we play again.
Excellent. And for the record, I am an early bird. I do like roller coasters, but not the tilt-a-whirl. Not the tilt-a-whirl. I do not often feel out of place at social gatherings. Occasionally at some things, yes, but not often. What about you, bro?
Yes, early bird. Love roller coasters and often feel out of place at social gatherings, even when it's with close friends, but it usually takes me a few minutes to warm up and then I don't feel out of place.
Oh,
with brand new people, it's super weird.
Yeah.
Heather.
Yes.
I would like to apologize to you.
Is it about the milk dipping thing?
No.
Oh,
it's not about the milk dipping
Go
thing.
on.
It's about the white bread versus wheat bread. I was thinking about it all week.
Uh-huh.
And if white bread was healthy for you, I would absolutely choose white bread. And I was so bent on winning that I didn't want to let it slide, but I have to give it to you. You are correct about that. So if you want to fix the points and rub it in my fat face, go for it.
I do, and I will. Thank you so much for that, though. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I was so convinced I couldn't. The vegetable thing was bad enough, and then you're trying to say wheat bread.
I do like vegetables, though.
Once again, the game we're playing is called Pando. That is Pando. It was created by Pando and is available at playpando.com. Link in the show notes. They are not a sponsor
yet.
Current running score. They might be one day, if I can get my crap together. Ryan, 33. Heather, 37, which includes the point you just granted me.
Yes.
Ryan, are you ready for your first card?
Yes.
Very good. Do I check the shower for intruders before peeing?
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah.
Do
no.
I?
No, you do not.
I do not. I don't. I'm interested to hear if anybody actually does that. Do you? You don't, do you?
No, absolutely not. Why would I?
Oh my God, you check the shower for intruders before you go pee.
Only
the way
at
you
work.
said that sounded so... Oh,
only at work. Only at work, Heather. Only at work. Because that's where intruders might be.
Do you have work associates who are pranksters that would hide in the shower and jump out and scare you while you were peeing?
Not where I work currently. I don't think that there's anybody that would do that.
All right. Do I get headaches more than once a week?
I want to say yes to this one, but I also want to say no.
I will give you a point for that answer.
Okay.
Because for the last few years, up until a couple of months ago, I was getting several headaches every week. But then when I changed my diet around, I stopped getting headaches.
All right.
I've had almost no headaches since like December when I made that change. So I will give you the yes and no answer for that.
Why, thank you, Heather. I appreciate that.
You know what? We're the weirdest pair because it's like, yeah, I'll give you a point for that. But then when we don't want to give each other the point, it's war. And what we decide to give and not give for is ridiculous.
I agree.
Ryan, what slang word do I say too often?
Oh, do swear words count?
Swear words are slang, according to the definition of slang.
I want to say that fuck is a slang word you say too often.
Correct. I will give you a point for that, plus your bonus, so you just earned yourself 4 points, big boy.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have said it like
go.
that. All right. Do my first card.
Okay, Heather. What smartphone app do I use the most? I think there's a way to check. Hold on.
So could you just really quickly list all the apps that are on your phone? Is that cheating? Would that be cheating of me to know what apps are on your phone? Because I feel like I don't know what apps are even on your phone.
I'm going to say them in no particular order, okay?
Okay.
PlugShare, Facebook Messenger, YouTube Music, YouTube TV, YouTube, Waze, Google, Messages, Maps, Safari, Reddit, Netflix, Facebook, and Calculator.
I'm just going to go with what my instinct originally said, which is Facebook.
I'm going to give that to you because the past 4 weeks, Facebook has been at the top. However, last week it was Reddit. And I think it's really a toss-up between Reddit and Facebook.
I will take it. I just realized that problematically on my phone, I would love to tell you which app I use the most, but I can really only tell you what app Charlie uses the most because she uses my phone all the time, and it's YouTube.
I need to get my Netflix time up.
Get on that, man.
Next question.
I'm ready for my next question. That's
all
okay.
right, who is the most famous person I have ever seen in public?
I swear you've told me this story. Tom Cruise.
No. Wait.
Give me a second guess. Give me a second guess.
No, because...
Oh, no, but I won't count it. I just want to know if I can get it. I'll already put 0. I'll put 0 because I didn't get the answer, but I want to see if I can guess this.
Okay.
John Travolta.
Yes.
Okay.
However, never actually talked to him. The most famous person that I've talked to in public is Seth Green.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually a really cool experience, and I was super impressed with him. I worked maintenance at a hotel in LA, and a palm tree head had fallen off and like torn through an awning. And so it was me and another guy. We're cleaning up the mess and just throwing this into the dumpster. Well, this atrium, clear glass all the way around, you could see through it, and you could see Seth Green over there filming a scene. I still recall the scene. I have not seen the scene in a movie. But anyways, you could see him over there filming, and we kept doing our thing. And eventually he comes around, and he just came up to us and was like, hey, what happened here? So we tell him there's like a windstorm and blah, blah, blah. And we're just cleaning up the mess. And he's like, oh, that's crazy. So he kind of just chit-chatted with us, asked us questions about ourselves. And then he was like, hey, we're about to sit down and eat lunch over here. You guys are more than welcome to come join us. And I was just so bummed out because we had to say no because A, it wasn't our lunchtime, and B, the hotel would frown upon that. So we politely declined and went on about our business and watched Seth Green have lunch
without
right
you.
There without us.
That sucks for you, bro. I have to say, most famous person I've ever seen in public, probably Tim Allen.
Oh, okay.
Most famous person I've ever talked to, this was both in just randomly out and about in Hollywood area.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God. Oh, wait, no, I saw Adam Sandler in Chipotle. We already determined that, didn't we?
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember that.
So that's the most famous person. And I could have talked to him if I had talked to him, but instead I did the idiotic thing I did, which is furtively keep looking over at him. Anyway, but Goldie Hawn, this is going to make her sound terrible. There was a blind turn. And if you weren't familiar with that area, you would have no way of knowing there'd be a stop sign right after the turn. So
right.
She came driving around in this big SUV around this turn and just like barely came screeching to a halt as me and my friend were crossing the street and was very apologetic. And we were kind of in a hurry. And we're like, don't even worry about it. She's like, are you okay? We're like, we're totally fine. Don't worry about it. She's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know there was a stop sign. Don't even worry about it. Everything's fine. Have a nice day. And as we're walking off, I turned to my friend. I was like, that was Goldie Hawn. She's like, yes, it was. So
I don't think that makes her sound horrible at all.
Okay. Well, I was going to the story, if I just be like, we almost got run over by Goldie Hawn, makes her sound bad. So I need to just clarify.
Context is everything.
She was very nice. Anyways, what's my third question?
All right, Heather, have I ever been dumped?
Never. Yes, you have.
Never. Yes, I have. Well, that is incorrect because yes, I have every single time been dumped.
We talked about it. Let's not relive it. Ryan, name the make and model of my cell phone.
Oh, come on. It's a Google phone. Mm-hmm. It's just Google.
Make and model.
Can I Google make and model phones? Because I don't know any of them.
Go ahead. Okay. Google them. Google them and tell me which one I've got.
Google Pixel.
Model?
Oh, come on. You want me to get down to the number? Okay,
yes,
hold on,
I do.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Google Pixel. The Pixel 4.
Incorrect. I have the 4A.
Oh, come on.
You know what? Fine. I'll give it to you. There is an intruder in my house. Do I hide from them or confront them?
I think we've discussed this, and I believe you said you would hide from them.
Have we discussed this?
I believe so.
Are you thinking of the desert island where I'm pretty sure I would die within a day or two, and you think I would survive?
No, I think we were talking about intruders in the house at some point or another.
Can I be dead honest? I have absolutely no idea how I would react in this situation. Like I would literally have to be in the situation to know what I would do. So I'm going to give you a point for that because I don't even know the answer for that. It really depends on the scenario. If they come in and they're downstairs and I'm upstairs, I'm not going to hear them anyway.
Sure.
So they'd have to come all the way up for me to know they were there. They'd probably have to wake me up where I was sleeping if it's the middle of the night, which is, I guess, the only scenario in my mind in which there would be an intruder in my house.
Right.
Now, if it was during the day and I was chopping up some vegetables on my vegetable chopping up board.
You just turn around and throw the knife at their head?
I would just hold the knife like this. And they'd be like, didn't anyone ever tell you not to bring a knife to a gunfight? Because they'd have a gun on me. And I'd be like, don't bring that crappy Hollywood cliche bullshit into my house. And I'd whip the knife and get it right in their eye.
Hell yeah.
Ryan, do I wear contacts?
Not at all.
No, I do not. All right, let's hope that I can do better on my card. Otherwise, you might catch up in this round.
Ooh.
This game I've been barely staying ahead of you in.
Heather, do I ever sleepwalk?
This is maybe tricky because I know that you have sleptwalked in the past. Mm-hmm. I know that you have spoken in your sleep in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that still periodically happens? I want to say sometimes, but probably not very often. Full stop.
I do not sleepwalk.
Damn.
I have only sleptwalked once that I know of, and it was after I injured myself in my sleep. So I lived in a dormitory with several roommates, and we had multiple triple bunk beds, and I was sleeping on the top bunk. In the middle of the night, I woke up in my bed with the worst headache I have ever had in my entire life, and it was right concentrated on the right side of my head, and so I used my right arm to reach up to touch my head to figure out what was going on, and I could barely get my arm up off the bed, and there was just a searing pain in my shoulder. So at this point, I'm crying. Well, I'm whimpering. I'm more whimpering because I'm still waking up. And I use my left hand to touch my head, and there's this big squishy spot just on my head. And it was about the size of a lemon, like a large lemon. And so I happened to wake up one of my roommates, and he was asking if I was okay. And I just told him I'm in so much pain. So he got up. He woke up another kid. They helped me out of my bed. They took me out into the hallway where it was lit and saw oh my God, you're super effed up right now. So I got to the hospital. Anyway, there was this guy on my bottom bunk that woke up to me falling out of bed and landing on my head on a concrete floor.
Jesus.
And he almost said something to me, but I got up within like seconds and then climbed back up into my bed. And while I was trying to get into my bed, I kept stepping all over his pillow, and he's like sitting there like dodging my feet with his face. And then I got up into bed, and then he said about 5 minutes later, I was whimpering. So I don't recall any of that except for the part where I woke up. So I would say that was sleepwalking. So that only that one time, but I sleep talk almost every night. It's like guaranteed to happen.
I guess I remember as a kid, I was a massive sleepwalker. I would sleepwalk all the time. Like, Mom and Dad have a million stories. And I guess I kind of just thought you were also a sleepwalker, but no. No, you weren't. I have been accused by my husband. He insists that one night I rolled over, scowled at him, and then punched him and rolled back over. I have absolutely no memory of this, except for some vague idea that he took all the covers and I was trying to get them back. And that was my solution to the problem. I don't know. I don't remember.
Hey.
I just vaguely remember.
It makes absolute sense. You know, I do move a lot in my sleep. Like if I'm like, especially like in dreams where I'm like in a physical fight, I'm like throwing punches in my sleep. And I have punched Rebecca and woken up to her going, ow, what the fuck?
Oh, poor girl.
And then I'm like, have to profusely apologize and be like, I was in a fight. I'm sorry.
I mean, while we're on sleepwalking, Mike has done some pretty bizarre things in his sleep. The two most concerning. One day I walked down one morning into the kitchen, and there was this really foul odor, like molten plasticky kind of strong smell. And then I looked over at my little spot where I like to sit and read in the morning, and my library book that I had borrowed was gone from where I'd left it. He had not woken up, he had sleepwalked into the kitchen to make himself some tea and put my book on the stove rather than the kettle, and woke up when it caught on fire. And put it out. I was like, oh my God, we could have been killed. But he woke up, thankfully.
Do a lot of fires happen in your neighborhood at nighttime?
What is my next question?
Have I ever paid for a psychic reading?
I don't think you have, no.
I have not. That is correct.
Excellent.
And then finally, would I consider adopting a child?
I just feel like 95% no, but depending on the circumstance, let's say me and Mike bite the dust, I think you would consider adopting my children.
Yes, of course.
But I don't think you're like, hey, Rebecca, you know what we should do now that we have two almost growing out of the house children? Totally adopt a baby. I don't see you guys doing that.
I will give you a point for that.
Okay.
Because, yes, under the right circumstances, I would consider adopting a child. And fun fact, we have tried to get temporary custody of a child that was not in a great situation. And we floated the idea about having us, maybe take care of her for a while they sorted their shit out. And it didn't go over well, and we nixed it. But we were just trying to get her out of, a somewhat bad situation. But things have gotten a lot better. So even without our help in that regard, they have slowly been getting themselves kind of squared away.
Well, that's good to hear. Ryan?
Yes?
That means that you scored 8 points in this round, and I scored 3.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my...
Let me just double check my points real quick. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I scored 4 points. Good for me. 4 points, which means that we are now tied 41-41, and you won this round. You get the Gloating Rights trophy.
Ha, Heather, I win! Ha ha!
Good for you. Now it's time for research inspired by this week's game. I don't like to dwell on the gloating when I'm not the one doing it, so
That's fair.
I thought it would be fun to research sleepwalking. According to the Mayo Clinic, sleepwalking is more common in children than adults. And usually kids sleepwalkers will grow out of it by the time they're a teenager. Now, if you do a lot of sleepwalking, there may be an underlying sleep disorder. And if you're doing sleepwalking and putting yourself and others in danger, definitely see a doctor. Maybe get some sleep testing going on, find out what's going on. It usually occurs early in the night, after 1 to 2 hours after falling asleep. Unlikely to occur during naps. A sleepwalking episode can last several minutes or even longer. And someone who is sleepwalking might get out of bed and walk around, sit up in bed and open their eyes, have a glazed expression, like glassy-eyed.
Yeah.
Not respond appropriately or at all, or communicate with others. Be difficult to wake up during an episode, which I've heard, and I didn't look into it too much for this research, but I've heard you're not actually supposed to wake them up in the middle of sleepwalking, although I would say, let's say, I don't know, they put a book on the stove and it catches on fire. Maybe wake them up for that. Or like I did when my husband, the other one, which I forgot to mention, was I was like standing, I think I'd woken up to go to the bathroom, something, and I heard this like motor running outside. And I was like, what is going on? I look out the window. I was like, it sounds like someone's mowing. And my husband was on the mower in the backyard past midnight. And I just went out there. I was like, get off the mower. What are you doing? He's like, I'm mowing. I'm like, it's the middle of the fucking night. Like, I was not having, and I woke him up and he was disoriented and like really in a foul mood. But like, how can I let him be mowing the lawn when he's completely unaware of the fact that, you know what I mean? Like he's in dreamland.
Yeah. Question, Heather.
Uh-huh.
Have there been people's lawns mowed in the middle of the night recently?
People just wake up around town and they're like, oh my God, I don't have to mow my lawn anymore.
Because maybe he's a serial lawnmower.
Maybe. Hey, you know what? There are worse serial things that a husband could be.
That is true.
Other things that could happen here. So yeah, after being awoken, they might be very disoriented or confused, not remember the episode in the morning, have problems functioning in the day because of the disturbed sleep. Because I guess even though you're not really aware what's going on, it still disturbs your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Might also have sleep terrors in addition to sleepwalking. Sometimes people who sleepwalk will just do their routine activities. I would say sometimes they might use objects they think are routine. But the other thing too is like, I'll just open a drawer one morning and like there'll be a bowl of cereal in it or something. And I'm like,
that's the kids. Mike
was sleepwalking again. No, it's my husband in this case. Or like just finding random things where they don't belong.
Huh.
So yeah, like do routine activities like getting dressed or talking or eating. They'll leave the house, drive a car, engage in unusual behavior such as urinating in a closet. I actually went and I do have some Reddit sleepwalking stories that I found, and a lot of people are saying these things. Here's one: engage in sexual activity without awareness.
Huh.
That's interesting to me.
You know what I think that sexual activity probably is?
Masturbating?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that makes more sense to me, because, like, you can't just, like, unless, like, you're sleeping in the same bed as another person. Because I don't think it would go over well if you just, like, showed up
in the middle of the night, like.
Just showed up in, like, some rando's room, and you're like, let's do this. I don't think it would go over very well.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Anyway, moving on to some of the other things. They could get injured by falling down the stairs or jumping out a window, become violent during the period of brief confusion, like right after they wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Or even occasionally during sleepwalking. So I guess like how I punched my husband, quote unquote, that one time in the middle of my sleep that I don't remember. That.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's when to see a doctor. If it occurs often for like more than 2 times a week or several times a night, leads to dangerous behavior or injury to the person who sleepwalks or to others. Which, by the way, we did take him to doctor and it's all resolved now. So he hasn't actually sleptwalked in a while, but there was a time.
Oh, nice.
Oh, when it's causing people in the household to have their sleep disrupted by somebody else's sleepwalking. Or if during the daytime you're super sleepy and you can't function.
Just walking down the hallway, opening people's doors and slamming them shut over and over.
No, sleepwalking around
Going
the house.
Going to the next one.
Wake up, wake up. Okay, good, bye. I got to go to the next one. Let's see here. Or if you've never sleptwalked before, suddenly you start sleepwalking as an adult. Or you don't grow out of it. You grow up and you're a teenager and you're still sleepwalking. I don't know. I think it depends how much. But there you have it. Here's some fun sleepwalking stories from Reddit. Amphibalagigi29 shares this story. My husband isn't a sleepwalker normally, but we'd been married just a few months when he went cold turkey off some heavy pain medication after his surgery, and it caused him to sleepwalk that night. I heard metallic rattling sounds coming from the bedroom, so I went in to see what was going on. It was pitch black, and I realized shortly that he was actually in the master bathroom, but again, pitch black. The light was off. I knocked on the door to ask if he was okay. After some hesitation, he replied, "Yeah." I asked if I could come in, since I was concerned he wasn't okay, having recently had surgery. He agreed, so I opened the door and turned on the light to a very curious scene. The shower curtain had been completely ripped down, breaking the rings. He'd also started taking apart the window blind from the top.
Oh my God.
I surveyed the damage incredulously. Remember, we'd only been married a few months, so I was starting to wonder what kind of psycho I'd married, and asked, "What are you doing?" He told me that he needed this stuff. I asked for what? I asked for what?
My time machine?
No. You're going to love this. I asked for what, and he replied, "Because this is what Ninja Turtles are made from."
Perfect.
And that was when I realized he was sleepwalking. Love that one.
Oh.
From Jalinden. I'm not a sleepwalker, but my husband is. I found him in the kitchen at the stove with a pot, spoon, and an unbroken egg in the pot. He was standing there naked, shaking his little bum and moving the egg around the pot. I asked what he was doing, and he whispered, "Making eggs," then walked back to bed. For whom bagels? Not me, but my ex. I woke up to her standing at and pointing out the window. She was saying, "Moo, moo, moon," over and over. So I asked her what was going on. She then turned around, pointed at me, and said, "You next." She then crawled back into bed and fell asleep. I asked what the hell that was about, and she remembered nothing about it. Moo, moo, moon. You next. And then last one from Brave Saint. I went through this phase of sleep shopping / other things on the internet, which, by the way, he never specifies what the other things are. But first time I spent $70 on iTunes of 90s female pop songs, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera albums, and changed my ringback tone on my phone to Hanson's Bop. Another time, I woke up and my computer was open to a form nearly complete for forming a 501c, a nonprofit. I've also bought expensive winter jackets in incorrect sizes. I live in Florida. For anybody not from the U.S., I don't know of anyone that's ever needed a winter jacket living in the state of Florida.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe once in a blue moon. An expensive onesie pajama thing. Actually love that thing. Random books and shit off Amazon, etc. Does that count? I think that counts as sleepwalking. You just roll over in the middle of the night, start ordering from Amazon blindly.
I would be locking up my devices.
I know. I forgot to put it here, but I think this poster actually put a little comment at the end that was like, I just started to really look forward to what exciting new package I was going to get that week.
That's good.
Send us your sleepwalking stories. Email them to me. Did you want to say something before I do that bit?
I do have a sleepwalking story.
Please tell me.
This is a story that Mom told me when she was young. They had just moved to Oklahoma from Ohio.
Probably.
I think it was Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
But they were in their new house, and Grandma and Grandpa were downstairs, and they heard this tinkling noise coming from the top of the stairs. And they go to the base of the stairs, and there's Uncle Jim at the top of the stairs peeing down the stairs. So what had happened is in the old house, his room used to be right across the hall from the bathroom. So he would just go over there, go pee in the middle of the night, and then go back to bed. But in the new house, the stairs are right across from his bedroom. So he just went to the stairs and peed down the stairs. I don't know how it ended, but that's the story that Mom told me.
Well,
of dear old Uncle Jim.
As I was scrolling through these stories, almost every other one was about somebody peeing down the stairs or peeing in a closet or peeing somewhere that should not have been peed in. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick the ones where it's not somebody peeing. And so that's...
Oh.
But it's apparently extremely common for sleepwalkers to randomly pee places. So...
And you picked fantastic stories.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You next.
To keep with this theme, I thought we'd do this question of the week before we sign out of here. Do you have or have you ever had a recurring dream?
Oh, yeah. I get recurring dreams. I can never remember them, but I swear I have had, there's several dreams that I have had over the course of my whole life that I've redreamed on multiple occasions.
But you don't remember them?
I don't. I'll usually remember them. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I do remember one where I was on the playground. In my dream, I was a little Asian boy, and I knew karate, and I was fighting a bunch of ninjas on the playground, and I kicked all their butts, and then at the end of my dream, the credits rolled, and it was like Ninja Boy Ryan McLeod, and then Ninja 1, Ninja 2, and it was like, I don't recall the names, if there were any there, but it literally, the credits rolled, and then I woke up. Oh, I woke up because I started peeing while the credits were rolling on one of the swing poles, and that's the moment that I woke up where I thought, in a panic, I was peeing myself, and I wasn't. But I have had that dream multiple times, and I have had it in adulthood. I haven't had it anytime recently, but I have had that particular dream in my 20s.
Interesting. My recurring dreams have not been that creative. Mine, I used to have a recurring falling dream when I was very young. The start of the dream was always different, but it would always end with me falling from up high for some reason or another. And I would always wake up right before I was about to hit the ground. And I would always be exhilarated AF. Like, oh my God, that was so fun. I want to do it again. And try to fall asleep and do it again. And I could never do it twice in a night.
Have you ever had where you're just falling asleep and you fall and you physically feel like you're falling and it wakes you up?
And your whole body jolts like you actually were falling? Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I had that happen in the middle of basketball practice one day. We were all sitting on the bleachers and the coach was going over plays and he brought out the little whiteboard and he was drawing all the plays and I zoned out. And I don't know why, but I was suddenly a merchant on a very old, tiny street. And there were all these fruit and vegetable vendors. And I was like, I'd like an orange. And I started to walk to the orange vendor and tripped and flew in this imaginary space I created for myself instead of paying attention to the basketball coach. And my whole body jolted. And the person sitting next to me, just looked at me like, what the fuck? was that. And I was like, daydreaming became really realistic right there. Sorry. Oh, my God. But my other recurring dream, I have had this dream several times. It's me in the dream. I'll get into a very long, deep philosophical conversation with my daughter, Charlie, who has autism and does not speak very much. I mean, she has a few words and sentences she'll say now, but I've often had that dream where we just get into like a deep conversation. And then I wake up and it's always a little bit sad because I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I thought I was having like a deep conversation with her. And I can't remember now. It slipped my mind what the third one was, but if I do remember it, I will.
Tell us about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
What are your recurring dreams? What are your sleepwalking stories? Email us, thepoliticsfreepodcast@outlook.com, or message us on Instagram @thepoliticsfreepodcast. I will also probably be putting up posts with these questions, and you can respond to the post as well. So many ways. You can go to our website. Haven't mentioned that one in a while. thepoliticsfreepodcast.com. Scroll down and leave us a voice message about it as well. We would love all of that. All of it.
Excellent.
And last but not least, please share the podcast, tell a friend, and hey, welcome Indonesia and welcome Peru. Those are our new countries this week. I know. And some countries are sticking with us as well. So welcome all of you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful week. We'll be back next week with another episode. Until
we play again.
Until we play again.
Until we play again.